I can't believe this man I called my father lived a whole other life while we were burying him." Mike's voice was barely audible over the soft clink of utensils against plates, but it carried through the repast hall like a jagged knife. People whispered around them, faces blurred with grief and polite condolences, but Mike didn't notice. His chest ached with a combination of sorrow and disbelief, each heartbeat pounding in protest at the revelation that had just shattered what little composure he had left. Wesley leaned back in his chair, fists gripping the edge so tightly his knuckles were pale. "Are you serious?" he asked, voice rough, the tremor barely hidden. "After everything, after the funeral, you're telling us he had kids with them and we never knew?" Paula's hand rested lightly on the manila folder she'd brought, though her knuckles were tight against the edge. "I didn't know how to tell you before, and I wasn't sure if I should. But the truth is out now. You deserve to know what he kept from you." Mike's fingers dug into the seat beneath him. "He kept an entire family from us." His voice cracked, a mix of rage and heartbreak. "All those weekends he was working late, all those birthdays he missed, he was somewhere else, living a life we didn't even know existed." Tony, who had been standing near the buffet, took a tentative step forward. His face was pale, jaw tight. I can't even wrap my head around this. We just buried him. We thought we knew him. We thought we understood him. And now, this? What the hell?" Paula opened the folder and slid a photograph across the table. Mike caught it reflexively, staring at the image as though it burned his retinas. The picture showed Wilson smiling at a small boy, a child Mike didn't recognize, yet whose face mirrored their father's unmistakably. His stomach lurched. He could feel bile rising, anger pooling like fire in his veins. Wesley's eyes narrowed, leaning closer. "That kid. That's him. That's his kid." His voice was taut, brittle with disbelief. "How could he do this? How could he hide a life like this from us?" Paula exhaled, almost shakily. "He wanted it hidden. I don't know why. Maybe he thought he was protecting someone, or maybe he just didn't care what you knew." Mike slammed his palm against the table. "Didn't care? He was our father. He promised he cared." The words left his mouth in a harsh, jagged scream, though only the immediate table heard. Some heads turned, others looked away. None of it mattered. The betrayal was too sharp, too visceral. Tony ran a hand down his face, voice low, simmering with barely controlled fury. "I've been angry at him before, sure, but this is different. This isn't just a mistake, it's a lifetime of lies." Mike's chest heaved. "We've been mourning a man we didn't even know. And what? All this time he's been living a whole other life?" Paula placed another photograph on the table, this one showing two children, a little boy and a little girl, standing side by side. Both of them had Wilson's eyes, the same faint dimple in their smiles. Mike's hands shook as he held the photo, the betrayal clawing at him, twisting in his chest. Wesley's voice was barely a whisper. "They didn't even know he's gone. Probably think he abandoned them, and we didn't even know they existed." Mike's jaw tightened. We can't just ignore this. But do you see what I'm thinking? I don't want to reach out. I don't even want to acknowledge that part of him. He's dead, and I don't owe them anything. Hell, I'm not sure I even owe him anything anymore." Tony's hands clenched into fists on the table. "I'm with you. The man I called my dad, he's a stranger, a liar. He spent years deceiving us, and now we're supposed to feel... what? Sympathy?" Paula looked down quietly. "I know it's hard. I wanted you to know the truth. I couldn't leave it buried." Mike slammed the folder down. "Truth? This isn't truth. This is a betrayal. This is a lifetime of manipulation. He's not the man we thought he was, and frankly, I don't think I care what happened to anyone else he was involved with." Wesley's shoulders shook slightly, and he spoke through gritted teeth. Do you feel the same rage I do? That he could live, laugh, parent someone else, and leave us in the dark all these years?" Mike leaned back, eyes narrowing, voice low and venomous. "Every damn day, every weekend he chose not to show up, Every birthday he skipped, every moment we counted on him, he was somewhere else, with them, with children we didn't even know existed, and I'm done trying to rationalize it. Tony slammed his hand on the table. I'm done too. I'm not going to pretend he was some misunderstood father. He lied, he cheated, he used us, and now we're paying for it after the funeral. Paula's gaze softened, though her words were careful. I didn't mean to make this harder. I just thought... Mike cut her off, his voice sharp. No, Paula, don't. Don't soften this. This is ugly. This is raw. This is what he left behind, and it's not pretty. We're allowed to feel betrayed, angry, devastated. That's all there is. Wesley's hand drifted over the photograph, lingering, trembling. Do we confront them? The kids? Do we tell them he's gone? Mike's head shook slowly, eyes burning with fury. No, I don't care if they ever knew him. They didn't know the truth. We didn't know the truth. And I don't want to step into that. I don't owe them anything, not after what he did to us. Tony nodded in agreement, though his face was tight with suppressed emotion. I'm done. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hear their side. I want him gone, in memory and in name. Paula exhaled, a quiet sorrow in her eyes. I understand. I just thought maybe knowing would help you process. Mike stood abruptly, chair scraping against the tile floor. Process? There's nothing to process. The man we called our father was a liar. That's it. No redemption, no explanation, no excuse. Wesley got to his feet as well, voice low but tense. I can't forgive this. I can't. I loved him in pieces, in small, fragmented memories, and now everything is shattered. Tony shoved the folder toward the middle of the table, the papers sliding and rattling. He didn't deserve our grief. He didn't deserve our tears. He made his choices, and now we make ours. We walk away from it all, leave it buried like the man himself. Mike's hands clenched into fists at his sides. Exactly. No reaching out, no apologies, no pretending he was anything more than a fraud in the end. We owe him nothing. And if anyone asks, we say we don't know him. Because in truth, we never did. The three of them stood there, a solid wall of unspoken agreement, eyes blazing with grief and fury, refusing to let anyone look past the veneer of polite mourning that surrounded the hall. Around them, distant conversations carried on, oblivious. But to Mike, Tony, and Wesley, the world had shifted. The funeral had been for a stranger, and the truth of their father's other life had left them raw and exposed. Paula hesitated quietly. I just wanted to make sure you knew, that you weren't in the dark forever. Mike shook his head slowly, voice low and cold. Darkness suits us fine. We don't need to illuminate the life he hid from us. That's his problem, not ours. Wesley's voice carried a bitter edge as he gathered himself. Every time I remember him now, every memory, it'll be tainted. Everything he touched, everything he said, a lie. And that's all we'll ever have of him. Tony's gaze was fixed on the photographs again. Those kids, they might be innocent, but I can't see them. Not after he took so much from us. I can't. Not yet. Maybe never. Mike turned toward the exit, shoulders stiff. We leave this hall. We leave these memories. We leave him in the ground where he belongs. No reaching out, no pretending he was a good man. That's not who he was. Wesley followed, jaw tight, eyes wet but unyielding. He can't touch us anymore. Not with lies, not with secrets, not with betrayal. He's gone and the anger stays. Paula watched them, a shadow of grief in her expression. I hope you find peace eventually. Mike's laugh was bitter, short, and sharp. Peace? Maybe, but not with him. Not ever. Tony's steps were deliberate, echoing slightly in the tiled hallway. We moved forward, on our terms, not his. They walked out together, leaving the hall behind, leaving the whispers and polite condolences, leaving the man they had called their father behind. His secret life remained untouched, hidden in shadows they would never cross. And as they stepped into the crisp afternoon air, The reality hit them fully. Their father had betrayed them to the very end, and they would never forgive him. The funeral was over. The lies were out, and the anger, raw and unyielding, would follow them wherever they went.